his truth.
Right. That's what he didn't get, right?
He doesn't get that.
And he doesn't get that when you get angry, and that when he has to live, he goes off to live with your mom and things like that. What he doesn't get is that when this struggle happens between you, it is less about controlling him, and it's more about trying to hold on and not go crazy,
Right.
and live in the crazy house, as opposed to just having one foot in it.
Right.
Okay? And that's what he misses, right?
He's missing the whole picture.
Is that the part that at the end of the day ends up hurting and frustrating and pissing you off so bad?
No. What hurts me is that he might not have a good life
Oh.
from his actions now.
Shit.
No,
It's
no.
not even a
It's not about you then, is it?
Right.
Okay, good. Because if it isn't about you, then you haven't lost everything with him.
right.
You're still trying to teach him.
Right. See, I'm willing. I'm going to the limit.
Right. Well, you're willing to sacrifice
if
yourself
it
for
gets-
him.
Right. And I just said that to him, and he just said, "What did he say?"
Get out of my life.
He doesn't care.
Do you mean it when you say get out of my life?
Yes. I don't want to be bothered with her.
Well, that's so. I said, see, that's not what I said. I didn't say you don't want to be bothered with her. I know you don't want to be bothered. Are you talking about out of your life, or are you talking about not being bothered?
I said I didn't want to be bothered. I
Okay,
didn't say
that's
get
different.
out of my life.
Okay, that's what I mean. That's a different thing. Because I understand not knowing what to do, and I understand when you're 15 and you don't quite know all the stuff to do yet, even though you're growing up, even though you're becoming a man. I understand saying, I don't know how to handle this, and I don't want to be bothered. But that's different than saying out of my life? Or are you saying out of my life?
She said I don't.
No, I'm asking you what you said.
I said I don't want to be bothered. I said I want her to either move. This was just like when I said Mexico, it was playing around. She can move anywhere that's far away from here, or I'll move. She can send me away, or something of that sort. I just don't want to be bothered.
And that's because you don't know how to handle it?
And yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so part of it, so Daniel, is part of it that when you say, I don't want to be bothered, that you say, I don't know what to do about it?
No, it's just that I don't want to bother. It's too much stress. I'll come back around when I'm like 30 or something. Just drop in, say hi, pick
See-
up my little sister, take her
No,
around.
no. See, here's the thing. You know, in a weird way, the both of you are in exactly the same. You got one foot in the crazy house. I'm a parent too. So if it was me and I was in your shoes, I'd have both feet in the crazy house. And as a 15-year-old kid, the way you say, I got a foot in the crazy house, is you're saying, I don't want to be bothered. What's interesting to me is both of you are in exactly the same place. I don't know how old you are. You're a very young woman. And you're...
Well, I don't have to listen to you. I'll go out anyways.
Wayne, can I understand something?
I'm not a spy, and I don't care what he says.
I know that. I'm trying to explain.
When he
When I
lowers me
lay
to that
down
point, I don't
rules-
care. His opinion don't count when he lowers me to that point.
Wayne, can I understand something? Can I understand something?
I'm sorry, this is old news. and-
Okay, but see, it's new news to me, so I told you before that I really appreciate you letting me in on this, but it's old news to you. It isn't old news to me because I don't quite get it. And so there's a couple things I might have to rehash just to get a grip here so that I might have the potential to be helpful, which I don't know if I can.
Mhm.
Okay? So I'm just trying to get my bearings here, if you'll bear with me.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I understand it. But that was my question. My question is, there seems to be a great deal of passion behind the kind of thing you're saying. Can you help me understand that?
Tired of being kicked.
So it's not passion then?
Passion, pain, it's the
So it's
same
more
thing.
So like pain? Pain at...
Being punched, slapped, and told I'm useless 24 hours a day.
Okay.
I don't know if Josephine told you about my black eye last time. And I had to stand there and take it.
Yeah, I've heard a couple things about a few things like that, that this business of pulling gets violent at some points. There gets to be hitting and some things like that. And I don't know all the details of that.
And then afterwards, listen to the laughter on the other side of the bedroom wall. Ha ha ha. I beat up a 45-year-old guy.
Was this you?
That was not me. I had
That was
nothing to
your-
do with
That was your
that.
sister. Okay, that's right. Now I remember. Okay.
So when you get,
You know, he shoves hockey sticks through the door at me.
when you get real strong in your reactions like you did a minute ago, that's the pain talking? After being sort of feeling like you've been put in that spot a number of times?
Mm-hmm.
What keeps...
I don't care who it is, they have to learn to respect their elders.
Okay.
And they just point blank refuse to do it.
The look in your eye says this is a very difficult spot to be in.
Mm-hmm. It is. Because
You're
not
trying
only
to
do they
teach.
disrespect Wayne and my husband, they disrespect their grandparents, their aunts, their uncles.
Yeah, right.
Thank you. He just answered it for her.
So your struggle being in the middle is, as mom, you want to teach, because kids, that's what parents do.
Mhm.
And as a wife, you're trying to have that relationship.
Mhm.
Okay, so we were right. Christine was right, you are really stuck. Okay.
Passion to
So
want to be a
tell-
good parent probably also has to do with the crap I see on TV every day, the way kids act. This isn't just one kid.
Sure.
This is the whole world. And then look at him throw his head back like, oh, you're blaming it all on kids again.
Yeah, that's one of those kind of pretty constant struggles between kids and adults is the parents don't understand kids, kids don't understand adults. Do people misunderstand?
I'll agree half to that.
Okay, do people
I understand kids because I was one. He was never an adult.
Do people misunderstand your passion? You're kind of... See, here's the picture I'm getting, Wayne. Help me understand it is that if you're as passionate a guy, and I mean that by like high energy, very intense guy, kind of focused, a lot of ideas about rights and wrongs. I mean, you believe in certain things and you're passionate about pursuing those.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, am I relatively close here? Okay. Do people misunderstand that?
Probably. Could be. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
Okay. Here's what I'm getting at. Okay, let me go be.
I'm going to judge somebody and say, yeah, you understand me or you don't
No,
understand
here,
me.
let me get right to the point. I'm sorry for beating around the bush. Here, let me just be straightforward about it. Passion gets misunderstood sometimes as pushiness, as being demanding and being overbearing and things like that. But you feel like he's not on your side, and he's out to get you?
Mm-hmm.
How's it come to that?
Because it's just been what he's done to me and my sister and my mom.
Okay. Okay, help me understand something, okay? Your mom seems to feel like he's on her side, but you don't. Is there a part I'm missing here?
Not really.
You love your mom a lot, don't you? Lots, right? Does your sister too? Yeah. And it does feel like you're losing her, huh? Ooh, this is another really weird question. Help me understand it, okay? Why is it that it's turned out to a win-lose
I don't
game?
have to listen to you. I'll go out anyways.
Yeah.
After his mother grounded him. And I'm expected to abide by these rules and keep him in the house and take this F you, I'm going out anyways. And then catch him throwing his bicycle over the back wall.
Now, I don't know what to tell you about the fact that it has gotten to the point where they don't listen.
Everything is all fine that I have in the house. It's all fine when I'm spending money on him. But otherwise, I'm just garbage. I don't belong.
Okay, and I understand that your feelings are hurt. That you
I
try to
feel used.
that you try to contribute in a lot of different ways, and that when it comes down to it, which is will they listen to you and can you have influence to help them, that it doesn't work out that way. I think I get that. And that's part of the pain you were talking about before, I
To a
think.
degree.
At least a little bit. Okay. I don't think you're going to be able to have a lot of influence for a while. I don't know how things have come to this.
I don't either.
But kind of
That's what's confusing.
but sort of regardless of how they've come to it, I don't think they're gonna listen much.
I don't care if they do or not, as long as they quit destroying their mother's property. No, that's never happened, has it, Sharon? He's never broke anything of yours, has he?
Well, he could learn to quit slamming doors and throwing things.
And he's never threatened you.
I'm not the one who busted
good
my door
keeping.
open.
You're the one who shoved that hockey stick through there.
Not
Okay,
sure.
okay.
Is this the, is the anger you feel right now the?
The part where he's trying to lie to you and think that's gonna work.
My God.
And if this keeps going, then what happens?
They get louder and they start screaming at each other.
And you try to play the middle part more, and then
He'll
eventually,
either lose his
So then what's my
temper.
suggestion? Shut my mouth and let him abuse you and bust the house and go ahead doing what he wants and threatening you good. If you don't let me go out, I guess I'm gonna have to break your house some more. Just like he did in the car that
you
day.
can't manage that, can you, Wayne? Because I think you care.
I can't deal with him telling his mother flat out, if you don't let me go out this door, I guess I'm gonna have to break your house some more. Flat out quote.
And that's the part where you step up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the part where your anger comes out. Right? Am I right about that?
Mm-hmm. Words.
And that's the part where, who are you again?
Joe,
How old are you?
13.
13. And that's the part where a 13-year-old kid has got you.
Mm-hmm.
Because the anger and the pain begin to rule. I think.
Yeah, that's right.
I get the feeling like I'm supposed to just blow everything off and not care.
Half that's
Well, the exact same thing that happened when I was gone, what, not even 2 hours? When I went to Hunter Lake at that time? What happened?
He
I
broke
wasn't
his arm.
gone 2 hours. You let him out the door and what did he do?
He broke his arm.
But I don't care, you know?
Wayne.
Things I just don't care about, right?
Wayne, you do.
I never said you didn't care.
Just a second. I think you do care. In fact, I think that's the problem here.
Maybe I shouldn't.
No, I think that I think you care a lot. And I think John misunderstands.
Joseph.
John, Joe?
Joseph.
Joseph, I'm sorry, Joseph. I don't-
I'm sorry.
I think Joseph misunderstands sometimes. Because I think by the time you get around to stepping up, it only comes out in anger. And then he's got you. See, I think, Wayne, your challenge is figuring out a different way to care. You're talking about maybe you shouldn't care. I just don't think that's possible for you. And I don't know you very well. And maybe I'm way 100% off base here. So if I am, please help me a little bit, okay? But I'm not sure that from what my guesses are about you, you cannot care. Am I relatively close? I mean, can you really just turn off your care about something?
For a while.
Yeah, but
But no.
basically that means you're just shoving it back there somewhere, right? Kind of holding on to it but trying to not act on it. So I'm not sure it's going to work not to care. And if you try to do that, my guess is what'll happen is you'll be quiet for a while, and then when you do finally speak, it'll be loud and very misunderstood. Because it'll come across as bullying and spying. Right?
Well, and based on your level, from what you said, I guess I'm just never gonna stop spying.
No, I think spying is what parents do, but, you know, it's all in words. I mean, watching and monitoring your kids is what you're supposed to do. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if you didn't do that, that'd be being a bad parent. But,
If we didn't do that, it would be we didn't care.
You can call it any word you want. I mean, some person will say stealing, some person will say misappropriating. It's all the same thing.
yeah, but are you spying? See, I
No?
haven't.
Well,
You-
what do I get to spy on?
That's what I mean. Aren't you just being a parent trying to make things right?
Yeah?
I'm just trying to be her other half.
Okay, that's what I mean. So I just
So that when something does happen to him, she don't come home and say, why didn't you tell me? And then it happened, and now I'm even in a worse ringer than I'm already
The
in.
curiosity I have is how come a 13-year-old boy can get you so bad? And I think it's because you care too much.
Because he physically destroys property,
Okay.
and it gets expensive.
And you and I both know that you, because of whatever the reason, and I don't know what it is, cannot step up in the parenting role and be effective. That you have to find a different way to care and a different way to support your wife and a different way to be a parent than comes naturally to you.
I guess I'll just have to keep telling her everything he does when he does it. That's about all I can do,
Okay.
and let her deal with
But
it.
you understand what I'm trying to say? I mean, do you see what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say here? What I'm trying to say here is that I don't think that what I just said is probably the best way to go.
Mhm.
But I think that for whatever reason, things have come to a point where the only thing you're going to do is you're going to get these guys. They're just going to prove themselves right because they get you.
Well, they'll never be proved right. They just end up in that win-lose situation. They think they won. Good. Think what they want.
And when you end up with a black eye, and they end up feeling like, and then it just goes on and on and on and on and on and on.
Well,
And
it's
you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
not gonna be so
Well,
funny
like I
after
told
tomorrow when Stephanie gets through with the judge.
Well, but the issue is, again, that sounds like the anger and the pain
Oh,
part.
curious.
Maybe the judge will get her.
We'll keep it up.
Keep it up in what way?
I hear him mumbling under his
Of course,
breath.
he's gonna mumble.
Good, she'll just come home and do it again.
Hey, he's gonna mumble. She's gonna push your buttons. I gotta tell you, I don't think it's very fair to you.
I keep telling William, they're gonna
It's not
learn the
fair to
hard
me.
way. They're gonna learn by their mistake. They're gonna, like Stephanie, like the other, when that all happened and she called the police and now she's going to
She
court.
didn't call the police, Mother.
Somebody did.
Is she dumb enough to call the police on herself? No.
Oh, no, your name is Mother instead of Ma? But that changed.
Anyway, I tell William.
Is that the way sometimes that your anger comes out?
I'm just making an observation. Her name changes at his will.
Mhm.
Okay, but you understand?
It can be
It's all
either
the same
Mother,
thing.
Mommy, or Hey Ma, or Bitch.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I've heard you say that.
Okay.
Do I walk up to you? Ooh.
No, when I yell at you and you're walking away, you will mutter under your breath, "You're a bitch."
See, my guess is that. But not here.
Oftentimes.
Oftentimes. Do you manage the pressure a little different?
But he understands me more, you know.
Maybe I'm a little more patient, yeah. I don't know if you to understand you very well, but I try to.
So the difference with you and your mom is there a sense, you have this idea that she doesn't understand quite as much? Is that some of this?
Yeah.
But when your dad's hard on you,
What?
it still feels like there's something different. It's curious to me.
When I have a fight with him, he's first thinking about it, and he don't scream, you know. He's just chill and he talks with me. He's first gotta think about it, you know, and then sometimes he understands me and sometimes he don't, you know. But he's not screaming and stuff, and I don't like when people scream at me, you know. Just make me angry.
But you scream back.
Yeah.
So your mom and dad have very different ways of caring about you and not giving up on you. Because, could I ask you something? If I
Yes.
could? When you scream, and I don't know you, so I'm going to ask this, and you could tell me if I'm wrong. When you scream, you're not pushing them away and throwing them out, are you?
No.
You're hurt and scared for them?
Yes, of course.
The same as you, but you both do that very differently.
Yes.
So when you hurt like that and get afraid, you're quick to come to
Yes.
kind of saying it. So did that make sense? I mean, my English.
Yes, it does
Okay.
make sense.
Okay, okay. But at the moment, you don't feel afraid, do you? You feel just very angry.
Yeah, I'm very angry
Yeah.
now. And then I really explode.
Yeah. But am I right? Does she?
It's right, yeah.
Yeah. Is she right?
Yeah,
No, help me with it, because see, my disadvantage here is not knowing the language. You all get to do things that I don't understand, so you have to help me.
No, I just left because you said to her you explode, and then she said yes, and then
Oh,
I
okay.
left about it.
Yeah, because she does explode. though.
Yes.
Like, is the explosion this big or this big?
This big.
Oh, okay. There's a really important thing I have to ask, and I need to understand this if it's okay. Your explosions sound to me like a mother that's afraid when she sees her son not changing, not a mean woman who can't control her temper.
No,
It's an afraid mother?
yes,
You've put too much into him to see this not work.
yes, of course, you're right.
And you've invested a great
Yes,
deal.
a lot.
A lot. And when he continues to misbehave, does it really tear at you?
It hurts,
It hurts a lot.
yeah,
I mean, I can even see as you talk about it.
yeah.
And after that's happened many times, you don't feel the hurt anymore immediately, you just feel the anger right at first?
Yes.
So it's like, it used to be that it would be hurt, and a little anger. Now it's a little hurt and a lot of
A lot
anger.
of anger,
But the hurt part's still there.
yes.
That must be very hard.
It is,
Must be very hard.
yes.
News. When she's angry, do you know that what she's doing is that she's afraid? Or when she gets angry, are you so quick to come to anger that you miss the fact that she's afraid? She could probably be afraid differently, but she's very afraid.
Yeah, but sometimes, when she's screaming, she's not always screaming with love in it. It's always, I see it as hate, Go out of the house, go in your room, just go away. It's going,
Yeah.
When she's saying that, go away, it's,
That
So,
hurts as well.
yeah.
yeah, so that's interesting, isn't it? Is that there has been so much, it sounds like, that's happened, that you don't hear the love part of it and the afraid part. What you hear
It's anger.
is anger, and you fear it pushing you away?
Yeah.
Does it feel like it's, when it's really funny, because it sounds like what she's trying to do is keep you, but it feels like it's being pushed
Right.
away?
She's maybe saying that with love, but she's not acting like that,
Yeah, no, I understand. So then what you
So,
respond.
when she said that to me, it's always making me mad inside, and then I'm gonna do crazy stuff, I'm thinking by myself, my parents don't love me anymore, fuck it,
Yeah, yeah. You don't want him to leave you, do you? Can I ask a question? Because I want to tell you that. News. I want to tell you that it's good for me to see that you haven't lost something with them that's very important in making this work. You may say fuck it sometimes, but that's not how you feel, is it? How you feel is that you don't want to lose them.
I already have lost one mother. But it's not gonna happen a second time.
So you're not gonna give up on them, right? You're not gonna let this happen for you.
Maybe when they didn't adopt me, I will be dead by now.
They did it.
Maybe I don't say that I love them, because they always are mad at me, and I don't have the time to tell them that I love them, but I still do.
I can see that. I mean, it's how I understand your tears is I understand it, and help me if I'm not accurate about this. I understand it as how desperate you are to hold on. And how, I mean, you're a tough guy, you're a street guy, but you don't want to lose them.
Some street guys, they always talking about their mom. Fuck that, you know? They hate their mothers, but I don't.
And that's the difference, isn't it? And see,
Maybe the outside is rough, you know, but I still have a heart. For instance, I'm a small guy, you know.
and that's a hard thing, isn't it? On the outside to be a tough guy, and on the inside
On the
to be a
street,
strong
I'm the
guy.
man, you know, chilling with my homies, you know, every time, chilling, people, you know. When
But-
I'm on the street, I'm a big guy, but you know, I still have a heart.
And so when it comes to this business between the three of you, this big, tough street guy is a little guy that has a lot of heart.
They only see me as a rough guy, you know. Neighbors that tell that I'm making too much noise. Says I've been in jail, you know. It's
So,
it's hard for me to tell them now that I'm still a good guy.
and that's the thing that sounds to me like it's been lost between you. What gets lost every day? If we sit and talk like this, it sounds to me like the first thing that you all feel is this connection to each other.
Yes.
Right.
But it sounds like when you were to be to go home or on an everyday thing, that somehow this feeling of connection is lost. And it gets lost in little things like rules and little things like fights that then begin to feel like very big things. And this feeling, you know, the hurt, the fear you have about losing it, you know, the hurt and fear you have about him losing him, the confusion and struggle and the hurt about him not, I mean, that sounds to me like that gets lost every day. And
Yes.
instead, it's the anger that comes quickly,
That's right.
and this is the part that gets forgotten.
Yes.
Does that make, do you think that's a bit of what happens? Help me understand something, because I'm trying to figure this out. And Luce, I want to tell you, I appreciate you talking to a brand new person that you don't know, who talks funny, who acts weird, in a room with a lot of lights, and being so honest, and doing the kind of thing you wouldn't on the street. I appreciate that, and the same. But what my curiosity is how three people that care so much, and it's so obvious, how do you lose it, that feeling every day?
I do.
We don't talk.
Where does it go? Or, I mean, do you ever wonder about that, like where it goes?
We don't talk too much.
Okay.
I'm always on the street. When
He's not here. He's not at home a lot.
when I was at high school, at the first class, you know, I started to meet people, you know, old guys. Older guys, you know, I saw them smoke weed and stuff, cigarettes, so I began starting smoking and shit. Weed, I go every day to the city to buy weed, you know, and still now I'm doing that, you know. I don't like it at sitting at home watching TV, it's not me. When I'm waking up, I'm calling, Bob, where are you, what are you doing? Okay, I'm coming.
He's not a baby anymore.
No, I know.
And it's hard, isn't it? Wouldn't it be nice if he was?
Yeah.
I have a 10-year-old son, and you're how old, 15, 16?
50.
50. I have a 17-year-old son and a 10-year-old son. And what I miss about both of them is that they're not babies and I don't get to hold them. And I don't get to know everything and it's really hard. And you have a life. And it sounds like your life, you make some choices that make your life hard. You know, and it sounds like you fit in some places that give you an image of being a very tough guy.
Yeah.
But at home, it sounds like some of what your struggle is when you walk back at home, not leaving the tough guy outside. It sounds like you bring tough guy home with you.
Yeah, he does.
And you forget to bring Noose home, but instead you bring tough guy.
It's not that I'm bringing tough guy home, it's I'm tough guy outside, and sometimes when, you know, I know that I have to be at home at 9:30, what you say?
9:30.
Yeah, but you know, when I'm outside, I think, fuck it, you know, but when I'm coming home, I'm thinking about myself, shit, you know, I'm now busted, I'm getting, you know, it's not that I'm bringing tough guy, I know that I get a fight with her, you know, it's because I don't come, you know, on time.
What I meant is something a little different about bring tough guy home. Because what I meant is that one way, when you make a mistake and stay out too late, is to come home and to come in and say, another way to do is to come in and say, you were late, and then say, well, fuck you. And one is a tough guy way, and another is another. So what I was more meaning is it sometimes hard outside the house to inside the house? You know, take tough guy when you leave and let him go when you come home and be this more Noose?
Not always.
Not always. Sometimes, but not always.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Do you know what I mean about the two different guys?
When I'm having a good day, you know, I just thinking about myself. Oh, I go to my house. I go something to eat and shit. You know, not thinking about a fight or something. But sometimes when I know that I'm late or something, you know, then I know that I get a fight, and then bad boys coming also with me, you know.
Right. So that's the tough guy coming home then, isn't it? The tough guy coming home where he says, I know when I go in I'm gonna fight. And fuck you, I'm not gonna fight. Don't give me a hard time. You know, I'm not gonna take that. That's what I mean about bringing tough guy home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you sort of then go home with the attitude, the same one you have on the street, which is don't mess with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
it.
and then you get afraid.
Yes.
Right, and you say, where are you? I'm afraid and I'm sick and tired of you.
Yes.
And then you go, well, don't do that to me.
That's what
And then we have
happens.
tough guy, and then we have, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Je kan het wel goed volgen.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Just translate it if he's understanding the
Oh, okay,
message.
good. Are we doing okay?
Yeah.
I'm still curious. 3 people that care so much,
Strange.
and you come home, and here are 3 people that have worked so hard to make a home and to stay together, and somehow,
It doesn't work.
well, somehow there's some things are backwards, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's like the most important thing gets set in the shelf behind. And tough guy and hurt and sick of it, they end up being what happens. It's an interesting thing. I don't know that I understand how that is. It's like you just get drawn into things, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, do you ever get curious about this?
Yes.
Wonder how it's come to this?
It's also because when I was at high school, I was, you know, kicked off of school. And then 3 years without a school, you know, 3 years living on the street. I've become a naughty boy, you know, in the street. Two things, you know, when I was 30, I was raped on a, you know, scooter. I'm now chilling with, you know, guys that are 20, 19, you know, I don't chill with guys from my own age. Fun of little, you know, always with big guys.
So, you all want to help with that. What would you want to be saying? You would want to be saying to him, this worries you, and you want him to do by small rules
Yes.
so that it protects him, and you would want to have him come home so it protects him, and you know this. I mean, it probably doesn't, I know what you said earlier, which was important, was it doesn't feel like from your mom it's coming from love. It feels like it's coming from anger. I see something different. I see it coming from love, but she's forgotten it. But it's there, a bit like you, you know, we're the tough guy, and you just say fuck it. But here you can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
So, the simple things then don't get done. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think I lost it somewhere.
What do you think you lost?
My problem is when he's coming home
Yeah.
and he opens the door, I think, oh help, Niels is at home. Because then the problems start.
And
And that's a feeling that's not good.
so can I help me understand what you just said? You said he comes in the door and you said, oh my gosh, who's not here?
He is here.
He is, oh, he is here.
Yeah.
Now the problems will start.
Yes,
And then it feels as if, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do.
yes,
And you kind of think it's gonna go very badly. I don't want it to go badly.
no.
And then you open your mouth and it starts badly. And you feel